want your own.
Miss RHester and Miss MDeMoss, and the issue is the room in the inn. And of course, Miss Hester and Mr. Moss, before we had our first commercial break, we promised that we'd give the two of you an opportunity to talk not only about room in the inn, Mr. Moss, but let's start with you by having you to talk about the larger element that supports a room in the inn, and that is the campus. Let's talk about the campus.
Actually, room in the inn was sort of misplaced when the arena came to be, and we moved to 8th Avenue South. It's 532 8th Avenue South. And when we did that, we merged with the guest house, which Room in the Inn had given birth to, and it is an alternative to the public intoxicated. The Metro Police Department actually brings us the public intoxicated, and we allow them to sober up, and then we actually invite them to stay and seek treatment and to go from there. It's also, it houses educational programs that include literacy classes, the GED preparation, life skills, employment preparation. We have a respite care program that provides space for people that are medically fragile, that especially the ones that are leaving hospitals, that if they had a home, they'd be able to go to a home and recuperate. So that's one of the newest programs, and one of the really that offers a service that is so needed. We have day services, which include showers, clothing vouchers, access to meals, work identification, referrals, and case management, and a mailbox to use. We also have phones for the participants themselves to use. We have a Spanish-speaking services program that actually reaches across the city and helps translate for other programs and everything. We have a congregational helpline, which is it's a screening service for area congregations. And it helps them to, when they receive requests for assistance and all, it helps them to know that this person hasn't been everywhere else trying to get funds, and so we can help more people with the real needs. So we're a lot larger than just Room in the Inn now, but Room in the Inn is the driving force. It's the one that the campus will change its face. In October, more people will begin to gather, knowing that the program's about to start. The best reputation comes from the hospitality that these congregations offer when people go. They treat them like they're kings. They are so appreciative of the little things that people do, but the biggest gift that our congregations give is actually sitting down and listening to a person at night. They also have the art of knowing when someone doesn't want to be disturbed, and they can let them lay down and sleep, and a lot do. That's all they want to do really a lot of times is eat and sleep, because all day long they've been walking. The majority of homeless, which is amazing, do work. A lot of them do work through day labor, but some people have really well-paying jobs, and they're either paying off old fines or child support or something that keeps them at the bottom. And it's very hard to climb out of something that the pit seems to get deeper and deeper. And I think I know the congregations really give them hope that people still care, and that there's still something out there that's bigger than all of us. And I think they know that.
You know, Ms. Hester, as the coordinator for the Room in the Inn, you've probably got some experiences or some stories that you can share with us dealing with some of the congregations and some of the things that they've said in reference to what you're trying to accomplish with this program.
Right. I think one of the greatest gifts, like I said, being from a congregational base growing up, I know people used to fight over the pew colors and who was going to sing the special song on Sunday morning. I think one of the greatest things that we have going on in the city that really isn't spoken about much is that there are 156 congregations doing one common goal and not arguing about it. And I think that just sends a huge message about what's going on. And I think it also is good for all of us to realize that it's just by the grace of God that some of us are not there, or that in addiction and homelessness or addiction and mental health issues, they touch every family. And I think some can't deal with their own family, but maybe they can help someone else.
And so you've got 156 congregations working with that. Now, how many individuals are we talking about within these congregations? I mean, you're touching lives all over the, not only the county, but all over the general Middle Tennessee area.
I think it's all over the country, because we literally get calls from other cities saying, I have a family member who does Room in the Inn in Brentwood or Room in the Inn in East Nashville. Can you send me some information? I think people want to be plugged into something and really work on the area that they live in. 156 congregations, all faith. They're all over the city. Some congregations have 50 volunteers. Some may have 150 volunteers. We have no idea.
But it touches so many people
It does.
throughout this entire area. Now, wintertime is coming. This is about the time that it's a real problem in terms of trying to make preparations. What are some of the early preparations that you have to do? Ms.
Well,
DeMoss?
we have to line up the services that are offered. Like, we have to make sure we have a donated service for our blankets being sanitized every night, and we make sure we've got enough blankets to make sure everyone has a clean blanket each night that they go out. We do a lot of talking with the congregations themselves, asking if there's any problem, if there's any way we can help them. Do they need training for their volunteers that'll be at the congregation? And we do estimate that there are over 5,000 different individuals in congregations alone. That's not counting the volunteers that come to the campus during the day. So we know that we have a wide base that reaches a lot of people. And it does change lives. It not only changes that homeless person's life, it really changes the person's life that comes to help. It's almost like an addiction for me. I've known so many of these people over the years, and we've buried a lot, especially in the old days when they used to freeze to death and everything. So they really are family, and you take them with you. And I've learned that one of the things that I have a problem with is if I'm invited to a party or a small gathering or something, sometimes I can't be part of that conversation because the world seems so different from what I'm used to. And I don't equate well with I know one time I tried to be a hostess at one of the places that has weddings and everything in it, and it was so different.
Artificial.
It was compared to what I was doing that I had to quit. It was something that tugged at my conscience constantly, that this kind of money, and I love weddings, don't get me wrong or anything, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it was just so different.
What you could do with all the money that they spent for that
Right.
cake. Yes,
And so it was such a
your
change.
identification with that group, very good.
It was. It really makes a difference in your life. You become more grateful for the shower, the bath that you take. You get up in the middle of the night and go to your refrigerator and get a cold drink of water. You don't not think of that anymore. If you work with them long enough and with the whole population, they truly become a part of you. And sometimes even my kids say I don't have much to say to them unless it's about the homeless. So they're very much a part.
Very
They're
good,
very much.
and you're simply committed to what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm actually doing. I know they give me more than I give them.
Well, I think that's what's happening here. And of course, let us take this second commercial break, ladies, and then after we'll come back and give you an opportunity to sort of wrap this up. And we'll be back with our audience following this very short commercial break.
For Robin Williams and Nathan.
We're talking to